All right, good morning, everyone. Let's get right into the stock market technical analysis. Again, we're looking for profitable trade ideas. I'm here to point those out as I see it in the charts. If you guys are finding value in the content, drop me a thumbs up, subscribe, and then also if you're interested in learning this as a skill set and not just watching YouTube videos, then check out my stock market technical analysis course. It's kind of a no BS course, 4 to 5 hours worth of different concepts all put together, and then at the end I give you guys kind of a checklist to help find those high probability setups. I priced it affordable. It's there if you're interested. Link in the description below. Finally, guys, the private member group. I've been pretty active in there this morning, kind of giving you guys an idea of how I think things are going to play out today. So all the private members already know what I'm expecting to happen and how I've been trading it. So if you're interested in being a member, feel free to join up. Maybe try it for a month. It's $5 a month. So at the end of the day, you have $5 to lose. And if you're not finding value in there, you can cancel it and it costs you $5. So I think that's a good deal. Link in the description on that one. Feel free to join up, join us. All right, triple Qs, guys. Well, let me get down to the daily just to give you guys the higher level daily chart. There's your downtrend line. I've beating it to death. Now, again, it's a very obvious trend line, okay? And there's a couple other guys on YouTube are obviously pointing it out as well. So it's just very obvious to all. So when something's super obvious, what does that mean? All right. Sometimes when you have a trend line that's so obvious, you usually either undercut it and don't hit that trend line, or you overshoot it and you kind of break above it. Now we've already hit the trend line right here. Just yesterday we hit the trend line, so an undercut is no longer an option. So maybe we overshoot it. Okay, that's the daily chart. I still think, regardless whether we overshoot the trend line on this daily chart or not, it's going to be a false breakout, most likely. Okay, so maybe we break out and then fail and, kind of rope a bunch of longs in. So that is one potential way to swing it. Now, until we break out, we're at that trend line resistance. So as a mechanical trader, I think it makes sense to be short here and maybe add to a short if we break out. And then not too much more above. We start breaking above the 200, and really if we get above, we start breaking above the 200 and start getting above, these levels, it's going to put the downtrend line in question. We really should not go above that 313, 387, 314, somewhere right there. Anything above that, and it's really going to put a it's just likely not going to be a good thing for the bearish case, okay? So that's it. And on the daily chart. Now let's get down to the hourly, though, because this is kind of more actionable stuff. On the hourly. So yesterday I talked about how I was shorting, starting to enter starter shorts into triple Qs. So far, that has been profitable. We gapped down this morning. The way I played it and in the private member group, I talked about a potential bounce this morning. So the way I played it is I actually covered my shorts this morning. I did before the market opened. I did it in the pre-market, and I went long for the bounce, and we got that bounce. Now I'm cycling back into shorts. So I took another short here at 290.50, added to the short here at 291.50, somewhere right in there, and then looking for this to break. So what we have, if I get down to the smaller time frames, the 15-minute chart, we've got a bear flag going on where this gap is really the initial leg down in this bear flag. We've been flagging out since the market opened, and then you look for a continuation to the downside on the break. And it's basically setting us up for a move down to about 284.70. Or this trend line right down here, somewhere right in here. Now that trend line, if I roll off, that's on the hourly, or this is the 15-minute chart, but this is coming, let's see, this is basically the trend line that this bear market rally has been walking up. So there's support, there's a cluster of support, and this flag is setting us up for a move back down to support. So yeah, that's the highest probability in the short term where I think we're going. So even if we're going to make that next leg higher on the daily chart, I think we head down to this level first, bounce off this support, and then maybe make that that final move higher before completely rolling over and starting our journey to the journey lower in the bear market. So short time frame, lower, maybe, you know, relative, that's kind of days, maybe next week. I don't know if it'll play out this week, but maybe next week we head down here, and then we could bounce off there, make a slightly new higher high on the daily chart, and then start to roll over for that longer term downtrend line. Hopefully that's clear on where I expect things to go on the time frames. And this is what it looks like on the NASDAQ futures. You can see basically we had this kind of plateau area here. This is a 15-minute chart, so very, relatively short time frame. And we broke down, so a big breakdown, flagging out, and then we would look for a continuation of that breakdown, and it sets us up for, move down to this trend line. And it's very comparable to triple Qs. This is the bull rally, or the bear market rally we've been in, but there's support, there's a tag, and it's basically setting us up for a move down to that trend line again. So short time frame, that's where I think we're heading. You can see that we have a divergence going on right now. You have to really get down to like the 5-minute and stuff to see it, but actually, never mind. I take that back. I thought it was there, but it's not quite there. So, what I'm watching, and I'm not trading the SenQ, I'm trading the triple Q, but what I'm really watching is, this is a 5-minute chart. So this is the flag we've been in all day, and I'm really watching this flag closely. We continue to flag. Okay, so, until we break, there's no continuation to the downside. But once we break that, then it's going to help firm up the case for that bear flag pattern where we break, flag out, and then boom, continue down lower. So that is what I'm looking for a break of this flag. Right now, it's an upward moving flag. So you can zoom in, you can see we're just look at that. We're just barely bouncing off this trend line now. So any impulsive break really below 290.50, start breaking down from there, and it's going to help firm that continuation to the downside. FSLR, no real change from yesterday. They spiked it in the morning and they've sold it off the rest of the day. If I go to the hourly, there it is. Spike in the morning, right to that trend line that we've had marked out, and then selling down. So no change. I think we're going lower. It's just a matter of when this starts to resolve to the downside. Gold, I'm a little mixed on gold in the short term. I still want to be buying the dips in gold, but we're coming into some areas of resistance I'm seeing, so we might have a little pullback. Again, I want to buy the dips in gold, but this is what I'm saying. Here's gold bullion. Let me kind of clean this up. Gold bullion here, you'll see right there, we've got some, it's a level of resistance, and boom, there we are at that level of resistance. It's about 1806, 1807. We've also got the 200-day moving average right here, so that's a key level of resistance. I think we'll probably get some sort of a pullback here, a tradable pullback that maybe we get back down to this 1720 or down to this 1755, but some sort of a pullback. And then I'm looking at the miners here, GDX. Trading into a level of resistance right about there, and again, very very similar to gold bullion. You've got a level of resistance and 200-day moving average. So maybe a short-term pullback, maybe not. We'll see, because there is obviously the potential for this bull flag right here, and if that's going to play out, this thing has a ways to run all the way up here to about 35.75. I'm noticing things like Newmont, they still have a little ways to go up to our profit target, about 52.50. Looking good still. So here's Barrick Gold. Barrick Gold has some resistance right here at about 1757, and we're really close to it. So maybe it wants to overshoot it a little, hit the 200, something like that. All right, so that's what I see on gold. And then this one, MTA. This one's had a pretty strong rally. This is Metalla. You can see this downward channel right here that it's been in for a while. We undercut it a little bit, but it's now rallied really impulsively right into the resistance level of that channel. That's a rally from the low to there, about 70%. So pretty strong rally right into that resistance. I think you get a pullback, and if you do, it's probably going to pull back to this trend line right here. Okay, so I'll pull back to there. That would be the buy zone to me. And that's where I think it would probably, start to hold and then continue to break. So just seeing some areas, we're hitting some resistance levels in gold. I think there's probably a little more upside, but not super high conviction in the short term whether we're going to continue to rip higher or not. And watch this one, potential trade idea. It's a trade setup for sure. It's not quite actionable, but maybe it will be by the end of today. OXY. This is a short trade setup. You've got a trend line on the daily chart here to watch. Support, support, support. As I zoom in, all right, there's the trend line, and we're just starting to break it, okay? Now, if you want to be conservative, you might want to wait for a break of kind of these recent lows right in here, which is about 67-ish. A nice solid break of that would likely be a pretty firm sell signal in my mind. Again, on the daily chart, you've got negative divergence, big negative divergence on both momentum indicators. You've got a big bearish rising wedge pattern that's really, it's ready to resolve to the downside. So look for that sell signal. I think it's probably going to show up maybe today, maybe next week, but definitely a potential trade setup. And if we start to roll over, I would say a minimum target on this one is right down here at 54, with the potential to drop down to about 42.50. Those are the two levels I'd probably look at for right now. All right, that's all I got, guys. I'll probably do the live stream for all the members later on this afternoon. I am heading out of town tomorrow. I will be on vacation next week. I'm going to have my computer with me, and I'll be a little bit more available, but going to be trying to take some vacation over the holidays. So just to let you guys know, if you're a member, live stream later on this afternoon. Otherwise, I will catch you on the next video. Bye.